This is Chris Ruddy, and I love Gene Valentino's Grassroots Truth Cast. Make sure you're tuning in just like I do every day, every week, every minute.
A large retail store just canceled a huge order, leaving us with a ton of extra My Pillows. But you know what? That's their loss. I'm going to make it your gain. For the first time ever, you get standard classic My Pillows at wholesale prices, only $14.88. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Only $14.88. But it gets even better. For a limited time, I'm going to offer my entire classic collection at wholesale prices. Upgrade to a queen size My Pillow for just $18.88. King size only $1 more. Get my body pillows for $29.88 and multi-use My Pillows for only $9.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on the screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of wholesale pricing for the first time ever on TV, including my standard size My Pillow, only $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. We have limited quantities at this price, so limit's going to be 10, and once they're gone, they're gone.
The latest poll from the New York Times and Siena College shows President Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris are actually neck and neck in Michigan. And yes, there's concern. That's where Harris's pick for her VP, Tim Walz, was on Saturday. The Democratic governor of Minnesota was booed at the Michigan-Minnesota game. Let's bring in Graziella Pastor, and GOP political strategist and insider, host of the Grassroots Truthcast podcast, and the former county commissioner in Escambia County, Florida. Gene Valentino, welcome to the panel. Great to have you.
Great to be with you.
Thank you so much for having us, Bianca.
All right, so Michigan, you have him getting booed. You have Trump at a town hall in Michigan Friday. J.D. Vance back this week. Michigan obviously is a very big key state. And when you have Michigan's own Democratic Congresswoman Elissa Slotkin talking on a Zoom poll, saying polls are troubling her, she's on a Zoom saying, I'm not feeling my best right now about where we are in Kamala Harris. In a place like Michigan, we have her underwater in our polling. I think that there should be some real trouble ahead, Gene, when you're looking at Harris's blue wall there.
Yeah, Bianca, I'm concerned overall with the merits of the polling. Why is it some of them have been horse races through the last 6 months, 47, 49, 48, 50, all that kind of measurement. Yet on the other side, you've got a breakout like this poll. I'm concerned about the data and who they're actually calling. I don't hear too many people saying they've been polled, especially the ones with Trump signs in their front yard.
No, and there could be some oversampling of women, and we know that they're struggling with men. Let's staying in Michigan for 1 minute, Graziella. So a national Republican organization just announced today it's putting $22.5 million into Michigan's open U.S. Senate contest. This is to help the nominee, Mike Rogers, flip this seat. We've got 5 weeks to go until Election Day. That's a vulnerable seat. We've got Montana, John Tester, that's a winnable seat. So it looks like there is some real momentum, at least when it comes to some of these races down ballot. People aren't looking at Kamala as able to bring this home.
Yeah, thank you again for having me, Bianca. I mean, the fact that Harris is seeing worse polling in Michigan and Wisconsin than Biden in 2020 demonstrates that she's really not going to see the voter turnout that Biden did. In 2020, Biden was able to convince some voters that he was a moderate, and that drew turnout. But Kamala Harris is not perceived as a moderate. Her policies that she supported in the Senate of Medicare for All put her closer to Bernie Sanders than Biden. And despite her limited interactions with the public and the media, the polls show that Americans recognize that her policy agenda will not help them. And Republicans are seeing that. They're jumping in on the opportunity. And really, it's looking like there might be massive voter turnout for President Trump and low enthusiasm for Kamala Harris this election.
Let's play a little bit of Walz at the game over the weekend here, Minnesota-Michigan football game. This was how the crowd reacted to him. Tampon Tim. Now let's just play the Alabama-Georgia game where Donald Trump was over the weekend. I mean, you're just looking at the pulse of the people. Donald Trump will be speaking an hour and a half in Valdosta, Georgia. And you know, Gene, we'll hear some real authentic, caring He gave that woman $100 at a grocery store in Georgia. Donald Trump, it's not just retail politics. He connects with people on a level like so many others just cannot capture and cannot do authentically.
Yeah, Bianca, you nailed it. I think the story behind the story is the American people are smarter than the Democrats give credit for. They see firsthand a tidal wave, a tsunami of support for Donald Trump, and a rejection of Harris and Walz. Now, with all the billions of dollars flowing in one direction to the Democrat Party, we are watching before our very eyes an American resurgence of patriotism and individuals, the grassroots patriots, getting to the polls, speaking up and standing up to protect our nation.
You know, and I'm looking at, that's right, the blocks of voters that they are underwater for. Okay, so they pandered to Michigan, not working with the Arabs. They're having trouble with men. The Latino, she actually had the nerve to go to the border on Friday on a late afternoon photo op. And, you know, Graziella, that's a huge block of voters. And a lot of people, including my family, who came over legally and have migrated, she's not going to win on the immigration issue. And the fact that she went there and on such a, try to push it under the rug there when those ICE numbers came out, seems to me like Latinos are not going to just play the game anymore.
I completely agree, Bianca. You know, as a Hispanic, I know that Hispanics are, polling increasingly for President Trump, and it's because they have nothing in common with Kamala Harris. You know, the most important things for Hispanics in this election are religion and the economy. Religion has hardly been talked about this cycle, but they want Hispanics want a pro-faith candidate, and that's what President Trump has stepped up to be. Kamala Harris hasn't really talked about religion, doesn't talk about Judeo-Christian values. That's incredibly important. And the second thing on the economy, Hispanics are very anti-socialist. They escaped socialism from their home countries. My own family, the people I grew up with in Miami, Florida, for example, they don't want to see Kamala Harris's federal price gouging ban and her other socialist policies that have destroyed countries like Cuba and Venezuela. And, this is, again, why you're seeing the worst polling with Hispanics you've ever seen for a Democratic candidate.
And to your point,
don't identify with her.
All those points, and then skipping out on the Al Smith dinner, which is something that, they were not really too happy about either. It was a moment there she could have, I guess there's still time for her to reverse. She does like to change her opinion, doesn't she? Graziella and Gene, great to have you. I'll have you back real soon. Appreciate your thoughtful comments today in the road to the White House, 37 days away. Thanks, guys.
Throughout history, the spirit of patriotism has prevailed. The battles may have changed, but the values remain the same. Today, in 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever. For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values that make our nation great. With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service. It's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Because this year is not just any year, it's the most important year since our nation's founding. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.